Well, good morning. Thank you so much, Troy, for having me here. And I just want to say I'm Zena. I am the president of the VA Rep Charlotte chapter. It is a new chapter in North Carolina, and we are the only VSO and HUD counseling that advocates for the veterans on the VA Home Loan Guarantee Program through financial literacy, education, economic opportunities. So today I actually was asked to give my story as to my why, because I'm not a veteran, but I love serving veterans and I love being around you all here. So just to kind of take you back a wee bit, I think that's the saying, a wee bit. Just before I was even a thought in the world, my father, he joined the South Vietnamese Army, the Army Republic of Vietnam. So his brother had been killed in the war, which had been a long war. And my dad was 17 years old and he was very angry. He wanted to join so he could kill some Viet Cong, the communists. So he served for several years, and one day on mission, he ended up stepping on a landmine. And he said he was so great, you talked if I needed to bring this up. Well, he's a short man, he's not very tall, maybe an inch or two taller than me, but he said that day he was so grateful that he wasn't any taller because just an inch above his head was another landmine. So by the grace of God, his left leg was shattered and he was dismissed from serving. So obviously he had to pivot in life, and we're gonna fast forward a little bit here. He met my mom, ended up with a job as a driver, like an Uber driver, a taxi driver, and one of his loyal customers got wind that there was a job opening down at the DOA. And so my dad applied, got it. He was a chauffeur for a lieutenant colonel. So on April 24th, 1975, when he showed up to work, he was told, Nien, go home and get your wife and your daughter and come back to the airport tonight because your plane is leaving. So I was just a baby, just a year old, and my parents stepped on that C-130 that evening, and they didn't know where they were going. So we packed in like sardines in a C-130. How many of you in here are Vietnam vets? Wow. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Because if it was not for the brave men and women, I wouldn't be here today in front of you, living the American dream, being blessed. So we got on that C-130, didn't know where they were gonna go, and at one point where I guess they had to refuel, my dad ran into his boss and his boss gave him $10. So my dad says that when he set foot on American soil, all he has was $10 in his pocket, the clothes on his back, his wife and his daughter, and hopes and dreams. And a little more fast forward, he ended up going to college. He got his high school diploma, finished that, went to college, got a degree in 3.5 years. And I tell you what, I have lived a very, very blessed life. And I want you all to know, I know you've been told a lot of things serving in Vietnam, and I know you were not treated well when you came home. But I want you to know that you saved a lot of lives. Amen. You saved a lot of lives, including mine, thousands and thousands. And I want you to hear that. And I want you to know that God had ordained my very being before I was even born. Amen. And you were part of that story before I was even born. You are my heroes. You are the ones that gave me the freedom that I have today. And I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, I give thanks to you. I give praise to my Jesus. And I feel like he wants you to know that he knows the pain and the sacrifice that you had to make. Everyone paid a price. Some paid it in full altogether and didn't come home. But you're all paying a price for the sacrifices that you made. And that's not taken lightly. So I just want you to hear from my heart that God sees your pain, He knows what you've been through, and He loves you very much. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And that's why I do what I do, because I just want to give back. And I can never repay you for what you have done. And for those of you who didn't serve in Vietnam, those of you who have served in other areas, other seas, whether you're in combat or non-combat, I thank you as well. Because freedom isn't free. Amen. You all paid for the freedoms that we have in America. And so I just say, I thank you for my freedom. I'm proud to be an American. And believe it or not, English is my second language. I didn't learn English until I started going to school. And so I'm just telling you, I'm so grateful. And I look at this crowd and you just really touch my heart. So with that, I want to invite you, this is an appreciation from our chapter to you. We want to honor you at, we call it Brew for the Brave. I know I've been passing this out the last couple of weeks. And I really would love for you to take a drive to Mooresville and come out to Performance Coffee this Friday from 9 to 11 so that we can honor you. We're also unveiling our honor wall. We've got a lot of vision for this chapter so that we can touch a lot of veterans' lives. And thank you so much for giving the time. I gave you the short version, obviously, of the story due to time. But I'd be glad to tell you the full version if anybody wants to know. I'd love to have coffee with you or whatever. But again, thank you so much. Who's going to come Friday? I hope somebody's coming Friday. Anybody coming? You have no commitments yet?
I'll try.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you, Troy, so much for all that you do. I really appreciate you.
Anybody else got any?